Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the When the Dust Settle. My name is Pico Conway, and today I'm going to talk about the fight that is going to be taking place between Tyson Fury and Olesandr Usyk, and I'll also talk about my home country, Liberia, where a fire got part of the Capitol Building in Liberia. I'm not talking about Capitol Building in the United States. I'm talking about Capitol Building in Liberia, West Africa, my country of birth. As I always say in my previous video, videos, I'm originally from Liberia in West Africa, and I came to this country 2008 and been here since then. We'll be talking about that, give my own take on what I think happened, and how that particular incident sets our country back war, or my country of birth back war. I'll also talk about the budget shutdown in the United States. This is an old thing, government shutdown, and everybody's complaining, everybody's saying what they need to say about this issue. And I can't conclude this episode without talking about politics and sports. Manchester United played yesterday. They played Tottenham, and Tottenham beat Manchester United 4-3. We will also talk about the elections. The elections are over. Kamala Harris lost to Donald Trump, and Donald Trump will be taking office in January. This episode is going to be for 30 minutes, and every Friday from this time, from 10 to 12 o'clock, I'll be discussing all of the pressing issues of our of the week, and talking about Tyson Fury and Olesandr Usyk going to be fighting in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. This will be the rematch. You remember, I think 1 or 2 years ago, Fury beat. Olesandr Usyk defeated Fury, and this is going to be the rematch. People ask me who you think going to win the fight. I said that's the wrong question to be asking. For those of us in our own different careers, for those who asking the question who's going to win, that's just the wrong question to ask. I'm saying the wrong question to ask because if you ask Olesandr Usyk, who's a champion, undisputed champion. If you ask Tyson Fury, one defeat, but undisputed champion, ask them how did they get to this level. I think instead of saying who's going to win, I think our question as ordinary people should be, how do you get to this level? What's your training regime? What's your health schedule like, and all those things? What makes you a champion? What puts you in the frame mind, in a position to go and fight at a high level year in, year out? These are the questions that we as or maybe boxing lovers or sports lovers, this question could be asked in all different facets of our lives. If you like somebody who you like soccer like me, you'll be asking Ronaldo, Messi, Rooney, David Beckham, Luis Figo, and Mbappe. How do they stay at this very high level in their professional career year in, year out. Talking about winning is just looking at the end result of these guys' continual training, or what they do to stay at the pinnacle, at the ethics of their careers. So those are all who want to excel in whatsoever we do, instead of asking who's going to win in this kind of fights, the best question to be asking ourselves, what are these guys really been doing, to put themselves in the position to always win in this, in this kind of fights. People like Mark Tyson, Holyfield, Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, and you name the other champions that you can think about. Deontay Wilder and Manny Pacquiao and Mayflower, all these great champions. You need to ask yourself, what do they do to stay at that high level? They are not the people who complain that there aren't enough hours in the day for me to do X, Y, Z. I don't have the time. For those of us who always say, I don't have the time, let me just break it down to you. I have started doing something, and it has been very encouraging. So for the past 2-3 weeks, I've been doing it, and I try to discipline myself to do it. That is, I wake up 4 o'clock in the morning. Before going to work, even if not going to work. Go through my professional development readings and stuff like that. Then I do some stretches and some light exercises for about 30 minutes, shower and go to work. That makes me feel very confident that I'm going to overcome every challenges that comes my way during the day. I'm saying this to say that most of us say I don't have the time, but how many hours we stay on Facebook? How many hours we stay on Twitter? How many hours we stay on YouTube? How many hours we stay on TikTok? Looking at women, but looking at things that are not relevant. To know that we have a lot of hours to spare during the day. There are 168 hours. There should be 168 hours in a day, right? In a week. 24 hours times 7. 28. 7. 14. So let's say 168 hours in a week. Let's assume that you work 40 hours a week. You are left with 128 hours. Oh, but let's say for the sake of this, making this point, let's say you work 64 hours. Then you do 3 overtime a week, So you have another 104 hours left. Let's say you sleep, for 8 hours a day. That's 54 hours. You subtract that, you get how many hours left? You have about 50 hours left. Let's say you use 5 hours to drive to work, depending on where you live. So you get 40 hours left. So if you go down and you drill down into the hours you have in the day, and then you mark what you did, what have you been doing in the day, every day, you will see that you have a lot of hours in the day that are not used for anything productive. So I'm talking about Tyson Fury and Olesandr Usyk. And the question the guy posed to me, who's going to win? You like boxing. You follow boxing so much. Who is going to win Tyson Fury and Olesandr Usyk rematch? I said, that's the wrong question. Tyson Fury and Olesandr Usyk, they are guys who've been training for almost their entire life to stay at the peak of the professional career as boxers. We are other people who are accountants, public administrators, doctors, lawyers, and the rest of it. We can steal something from these champions, just as they can steal something from us, to remain consistent and competitive at a very high level. Look at LeBron James, the late Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson in basketball. As I talk about soccer already, Ronaldo, Messi, Luis Figo, Ray Rooney, David Beckham, Mbappe, Bruno Fernandes, and other guys. I call Bruno Fernandes and Ray Rooney and David Beckham because I'm a Manchester United fan. So, but the point here is, these guys want to be at the highest, want to play at the highest level in their professions. So what they do, they dedicate themselves. While other people are sleeping, they are training. When you go watch a soccer game, it's for 90 minutes. It's 90 minutes. Or you go watch a fight that we'll be watching on Saturday between Tyson Fury and Olesandr Usyk. And the fight is for 36 minutes. But it takes these guys months just to come and perform and fight for that 36 minutes. It takes these guys weeks, months, years to keep training, like LeBron James and other top guys. What's his name? Joel Embiid and Kevin Durant and how you call him? Edwards, Alexander Edwards, Jason Tatum. All these guys, they practice consistency, discipline themselves to be relevant and to play at the highest level in their professions. They don't complain there isn't enough time. They use their time. They use the time they have wisely for something that's going to benefit them. Maybe they take the diet right, they exercise, they train, they shoot. You name the rest of the training regimen these guys go through. So those of us that sit down for days, we get on digging through Facebook and YouTube and watching the videos where a woman butts are on TikTok, which get thousands of views. What are you going to learn from those things? Whenever I go on YouTube, before I used to be like most of us, go on YouTube, look for videos that are 15 minutes long, 10 minutes long. Shots, the guy now get shots on YouTube, and you can't learn anything from that. If you're accounting, look for 1, 2. Here's the thing: what will you learn in 15 minutes videos? And most of the time, we don't look at videos that are relevant to what we're doing. If I go on YouTube now, I don't look at things I don't look at anything that don't relate to my interest, what I'm interested in. As an accounting administrator, or I want to build a website, want to expand my YouTube page, those are things I look at. I don't look for things that are 20 minutes, that's 5 minutes. I look for things that are hours long and listen to them and emulate the example, follow the footsteps in what they want to do. Most of us take hours on this thing. Hours and hours on it. And and it yields nothing for us. It yields nothing for us. I'm not saying you should not go on YouTube, Facebook, and stuff, but go there for a purpose. Limit your time on the social media. Limit your time on them. Every productive people, every productive person I've seen or read about, they didn't get the sharp edge in the field from being on social media. Unless they're getting money or they're posting it for their benefit, for people, for something that they're going to benefit from, they are not on social media. Lazy people, we the lazy people, we get consumed with social media, get consumed with likes. You know, how many likes you got? How many followers you got? You know, you post pictures, you want to see how many people like it. You post foolish comments, how many people respond. Those things are just for people who want to waste the time. Productive people are not on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and stuff like that. Most productive people, they are there for a moment, 30 minutes, 1 hour or less, and they go about their business to do something else. I was talking about boxing. I was talking about Tyson and Fury and Olesandr. Who's the fight? Who's going to win? That is not the right answer to ask. But we should be asking ourselves, how did these guys remain so consistent? But to answer the question, just for the sake of this discussion, I don't know who's going to win. I really don't know who's going to win. It's going to be a good fight because both men want something out of the fight. Olesandr wants to remain unbeaten, undefeated, and Tyson Fury wants to, reclaim his place as a heavyweight champion. So it's going to be a good fight. Now let's move on to the next thing. In my home country, Liberia, the Capitol Building in Monrovia was, gutted with fire. I don't know. We don't know who burned or put the chambers on fire, whatsoever place was damaged. But the thing we got to start asking ourselves is this: Liberia is a country that is struggling after the devastating civil war, and we lack the basic infrastructure needed to attract investors. All across the country, you have infrastructure decline, no existing infrastructure, and the little ones we have, rumors circulating that somebody put it on fire. They don't know how the fire got started and stuff like that. There are many things that you got to look at. When the fire got started, I was looking at one of my friends from Liberia was showing me the pictures and the video on YouTube, and the fire service was nowhere to be seen, and people were surprised. Oh, where's the fire service? What's the fire service? Well, these are things that Liberia don't even pay attention to. We don't develop our institutions. We don't support them. And as a result, when they are needed in critical situation, we want them to perform miracle, to perform to the level that we expect them to perform. We don't support our fire service. We don't. Now the Capitol Building was on fire. People saying, where is the fire service? When we have not supported the fire service, when the fire service don't have the truck and don't have the equipment to fight fire. We want them to come. People say they were using fire extinguisher on such a big blaze to put the fire off. This tells you how our whole system needs improvement. We need people, far-sighted people, who should understand that one of the basic things that you need in the country where you have people's lives will be at danger or in danger when you don't have fire services, and in such a situation, if there were people in that building at the time of that fire, what would have happened? A lot of people would have perished for the lack of services that we would have provided, and that would have saved the lives of most of our people. We are the fire services. Well, we ourselves know that the government, and even ourselves, most Liberians don't even think that fire service is essential. The people themselves don't even think that fire service is essential. They don't fight to give them the kind of support they need. Our entire system is weak, and people just want to benefit from the system. They just want to get what they can get for themselves. That is even in Liberia, when they give you position, Liberians are saying, you better eat your own because you don't know when you're going to go. People are not so dedicated or sincere, or are not disciplined enough to understand that we need to do our part to ensure that our system improve. We always go places and we say Ghana is this, America is this. Great Britain, the people have dedicated themselves. The people have spent the money to develop the institutions, develop different sectors, so that in case those services or those institutions are needed to perform certain tasks, as it was in the case of the fire service, when this building was on fire, they will be there in the timely manner to ensure that they perform their duty as they're supposed to do. But when we don't support these things, we want them to perform overnight or to perform magic to put the fire off, we all will be disappointed. And that is just the fire service. But such a behavior, where we neglect most of our services, where we neglect most of our sectors, it permeates our entire system in Liberia. Education, health, we talk about fire service, police, and everything. We neglect those things. Even if the government is sincere to pump some money in those areas, people are there. Some people, not everybody, don't get me wrong. They are very, very devoted, dedicated, and very honest people in Liberia. But the bulk of our people, and even the ordinary citizens, glorify or reward corrupt people in Liberia. It's sad that we have burned down, or since we don't know who did it yet, I don't want to speculate, but it's sad that building has burned down. I think it was being in the 70s or in the 60s. It was built during either Tottenham or Tottenham administration. I'm not for sure, but you can go and look it up. The point I'm trying to make here is, for a very long time, we have not added significantly to our existing infrastructure. Most of the infrastructure we have, most of the building and other stuff we have in Liberia would be in the 70s or in the 60s. But we are tearing these buildings down. These buildings are declining on our watch. And now that place was gutted by fire. Because of the argument between members of the House of Representatives over leadership. Once you find yourself in chaos, people can come in and do any other thing. It's regrettable that this has happened, but it just shows to us that we have to solve our problem, in a way that will not, undermine the smooth functioning or operation of our government. Okay, let's talk about elections. I just ended a little bit. Now everybody has settled down. Everybody has settled down after Kamala Harris' defeat. Let us talk about the elections, and Trump is going to be coming to office on January 20th. Trump is talking about mass deportation. Trump is talking about all that he's going to do. And some people are complaining, oh, Trump is going to do this, Trump is going to do that. Trump. American people have elected Trump. Everything we are saying about Trump going to do, he said you are going to do it. And the people elected him, so the people are giving him the mandate to do what Trump wants to do. Everybody are arguing now about mass deportation and Trump is this, Trump is that, and what have you. American people hear all the arguments. Those arguments were made before the elections. And the people said we're going to elect Trump as our president. He has gotten the mandate, not just win the elections, Trump won big. So, he's right. What he said you're going to do, the people agree with Trump's argument. Those who didn't vote for Trump, yes, they have the right and they can say, oh, we didn't vote for him. But the majority say Trump, you say you're going to deport all the illegal immigrants and people in this country. He said it's going to be the mass deportation that you have not seen in God knows when. No need to argue. That's why he said you were going to do it, and the American people agree with his argument. So if he wants to deport everybody who is not in this country legally, and other people say it was not right and they voted against him to make sure that we could do it in a very civilized manner, American people have given Trump the mandate, clear mandate, House, Senate, Executive, clear mandate to do what he said he was going to do. That's what the bulk of American people want. Everything Trump says you're going to do. So those are arguing about what Trump's policy is. He said he's going to end Ukraine war in 24 hours. We're all waiting to see how he ends that war. Because, after Trump's win, I really respect African leaders now, Before that, I just thought the African leaders were people who, just incite fears and other things. And American people are afraid of Trump for no good reason. Some of the things that happened to Trump in African countries, Trump would not be arrested. African countries don't care for whether you're ex-president or not, and what have you. But America is so afraid that, when we do this, there's going to be crisis. African countries not care, they arrest whosoever. America said that nobody is above the law, but they don't practice it. They don't practice it. And now when I look here at our black community, and I know this is going to be controversial, and I sympathize with those who have been, regularly, affected by, Puff Daddy's activity. But we try to destroy our own. When we say Trump, Trump boasts about raping women and groping them and doing anything, and we elected him. Trump went through thousands of bankruptcy. I'm just exaggerating. We said this is the best businessman. But then what we're doing, I want to tear our own people down. Jay-Z now, we try to get on Jay-Z too. Sean Daddy, as a Puff Daddy now, he's in jail. And the Democratic states, And I was just listening to something where in Philadelphia now, the money business, money now is the champion. So Chinatown, they want to build this, just a background story. They want to build this Caesars Arena in Central City. That is already congested. Central City, Philadelphia is already congested, right? They want to build the Caesars Arena. Why you going to build it somewhere else? You want to build down Central City. Now, the people who voted for these Democratic leaders, are now facing the wrath. Few years from now, Chinatown will be no more. Chinatown will be no more. The point I'm trying to make, and maybe I'm a little bit, going away from this, is elections are over. Trump said you're going to do X, Y, or Z. Mass deportation be one of those. He said you're going to fire the FBI director, he resigned. Everything that Trump said you're going to do, American people say, yes, we agree. So Trump has the mandate. We all have to fall in line. He has the mandate, the Senate, the House of Representatives, and the executive. Clear mandate for the American people. For Trump. So, I'm just so glad that it's not like 2020 after Trump lost the elections to Joe Biden, where there were a whole lot of but tension in the country. But now there's peaceful transfer of power. Nobody saying the election was fraudulent. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris not on all the media or going to court and SYZ. She lost the elections. Or Hillary Clinton didn't do the same thing. Only Trump did those things. And his supporters all felt that he was cheated. That's the guy who has not agreed that he's lost a very free, fair, and transparent elections. And those that even say that, oh, the election was not free and fair. Those of us that work at the polls, it's not easy. I'm not saying it is impossible. But if you work at the polls, like I work at the polls for 3 different elections. And I can tell you this, there's no easy way to cheat election in this country. At the polls, when there is any dispute or any ballot that they don't clear about, you get a Republican representative, you get the Democrat representative, and they will agree to see whether this particular ballot, the person can go ahead and vote. So there are a whole lot of check and balance, even from the very polling station itself. So the point I'm trying to make here is Donald Trump was elected by the American people. They are giving him the clearest of mandate. And so everything he said you're going to do, if he's going to put every illegal alien or even those that became citizens in this country, if he wants to do it and wants to stop birthright citizenship as he said you're going to do, hey, that's what the people say they agree with. And that's what they want to do. If John going to do that, hey, he has a right. Because that's what he said he was going to do. And the American people say, they agree with him. Folks, you are watching when the dust settles. My name is Pico Conway. We talk about the fight between Tyson Fury and Olesandr Usky. We also talk about the burning of the Capitol Building in Liberia, West Africa. And then we talk about Trump winning and some of the things that Trump saying you're going to do. Now, let's conclude by talking a little bit of sports. My team, Manchester United, played Tottenham yesterday and lost the game 4-3. In my home country, Liberia, where my national team, they call Lone Star, played, and they lost, the people always say the team did well. So at the end of the day, most of all used to say, did well, Lone Star. But you got to support your team. When they play and they don't win. If you don't win, it's like, oh yeah, he lost. But you always learn from your mistake. It's about everything we do in life. If you don't get the results intended on your first, second try, you have gotten a clear picture. It's a teachable moment. You have gotten an experience about why you didn't succeed at that particular time. What did you do? What did you do right? And how can you improve upon it? So Manchester United players yesterday, Tottenham. And I look at the game, I didn't see the game live, but I look at the highlights. And I was impressed with the way the team played. They made some elementary mistakes, I would agree. And they came back from 3 goals down to score 4-3, 2-3, and then Tottenham scored that last minute goal. They make some mistakes, but those are mistakes that they can learn from in the next game. I think that Manchester is playing at the level, they are playing at the level of all the big teams right now. And so I don't expect them to win the Premier League this year. And the game they played yesterday was not the Premier League game, it was the English, I think English or Football League or something like that. Or Carabao Cup. In the quarterfinals against Tottenham, they lost. But you know that last week they played and they beat Manchester City 2-1. So the team is they are improving, they are going in the right direction. So those of us that support Manchester United, we just got to stay focused, and know that the team is making all the efforts, to be the team they were, 10 years ago. Folks, you are watching When the Dust Settles. My name is Pico Conway, and today we just talking about things that are happening around the world. We talk about Tyson Fury and Olesandr fight tomorrow in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. That's a rematch from the last fight where Olesandr defeated Tyson Fury in a split decision. So the rematch is going to be tomorrow in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. We also talk about Liberia, West Africa. It's a small country, maybe about a small little country. About the population should be about 6 million or less. And a few days ago, the country Capitol Building, the House of Congress, House of Representatives, was got by fire, and the fire service don't even have the requisite equipment to put out the fire. People were complaining that the fire service was nowhere to be seen, but they forget to know that they have not prioritized such a service, and they can't expect them in that particular instant to perform miracles to put the fire off. You got to give them the assistance they need before you can expect them to perform. I might be wrong by saying this, but people who were on the scene, were complaining that could not see the fire service, fire people around, to come and fight the blaze. We talk about Trump winning and that the American people are giving him the mandate to do what he said he was going to do. So those who complaining about Trump and what he's going to do, they are just complaining because they want to. And finally, we talk about soccer. My team, Manchester United, played yesterday, Tottenham, and lost 4-3. They make a lot of mistakes, elementary mistakes. But the team is moving in the right direction. They are playing well. They made the mistakes in that game, but they are doing the very, very best to be the kind of team that Manchester United was. Folks, you are listening when the dust settles. My name is Pico Conway. Today we discuss our issue as we do. Our segment is going to be long, for between 30 to 40 minutes. So thank you very much for listening, and I will talk to you when I talk to you. Have a great day, and bye for now.